Bussy, who did a show that had more than 100,000 views on one of my other platforms, tens of thousands of views from this one, supporting our brother Tyrone Muhammad, who does regular shows pushing and supporting Black men, who did a show on Black masculinity, real time, pull up summer yesterday. You better go sit your funny looking self down. I said, you better go sit your funny looking self down. Kevin Samuels repeatedly tells Black women to be a dog and a puppy. I'm a whole goddess. I'm someone that brought you into existence. I pushed you out of my yoni. I have the capacity, when treated right and in the appropriate environment, to produce businesses and blessings and to level up your life in ways that you cannot know on your own. And you tell me, be a dog? You can't tell me Black women don't like truth. That's warfare from within. And that is disrespectful. And we will not accept that. Y'all hear the thunder? Let me hurry up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Today's supposed to be a brief war briefing. Some of you find any excuse to defend him, but some of these things that he does are absolutely indefensible, and there's nothing you can say about it. When you love and you respect the Black woman, you say with the masculine voice, this is unacceptable. This is a no-no. We will not compare our women to dogs, and we will not tell them to be dogs. Now you understand, because Kevin Samuels regularly says this. That's the reason why I put him next to a beautiful dog whose hair is laid. This dog's hair doesn't have a weave in it. So maybe this is more acceptable for some of you. Kevin Samuels used the enemy to disrespect Black women.
Them, I was always told that put the men first, to take care of them, just show a lot of love, caring. Like, I was raised without mother love, so I think that when I came to America, I cannot see the difference between like Hispanic Latina women and Black women. They're a little more tough, I believe. Okay. So yeah, I think that's the main difference, that sometimes they hesitate to put the men first.
Why Black men are leaving?
That's a Hispanic woman that Kevin Samuels had on saying that Black women are tough. Now, sis, you're in our country, the one we Black women helped to build. And you're talking about your immigrant roots and talking about your country that you come from. And now that you're in America, you want to sit here and tell me, the Black woman who was raped, the Black woman who built America, the Black woman who has a whole bunch of burdens on her, you want to come here and check me while you're enjoying the American dream? And Kevin Samuels is interviewing the Hispanic woman. He interviewed a Colombian woman before her, but he didn't stop there. Kevin goes all the way and does this.
Why Black men are leaving Black women? I think it's the victim.
Wait, whose voice are you listening to now?
The men first.
Why Black men are leaving Black women? I think it's the victimhood mentality that causes them not to take any personal responsibility for any of their
Kevin
actions.
has on Becky. Becky, who I've proved to you, ran the WKKK. Becky, who's responsible for many of you all getting your funny looking selves lynched and set on fire and bodies ripped up and whole towns and cities turned. He brought Becky on. Becky, who's privileged. He had on a Colombian. He brought on Hispanic. And then he brought on a white woman to talk on Black women. How dare you? Yes, I've heard that there are other black women that brought on white men to speak down on black men. I do not agree with that. I'm specifically making this point because I have a solution that I want to share with my heart, and I don't want to do it on this type of platform. I want my brothers to hear my heart, and I want to give you the master secret, the master key, the password that, brothers, you have to the woman's heart. Kevin brought on Becky.
Why black men are leaving black women? I think it's the victimhood mentality that causes them not to take any personal responsibility for any of their actions. Black women do. It's grown women not taking any personal responsibility for their actions.
You got this white woman. What can Becky say? Becky, you brought on our open enemy to say black women aren't taking responsibility when it's Becky that's responsible for the destruction of the black woman and her family. You brought on this disgusting camper. You brought on immigrants. You brought on foreigners. These were back-to-back interviews he did.
For their actions. Responsibility for any of their actions. Black women do. It's grown women not taking any personal responsibility for their actions. So they're always blaming their misbehavior or the outcome of their choices on somebody else.
Go on to TikTok and look at young black men. When these talk about 10%, I'm talking about 30+%. I know men who have sons who say their sons have never dated a black woman. And when asked, the first thing they say is black women are mean. This is going to hurt. Hold on. You cannot have a mean, ornery, disagreeable disposition and be a large woman, the average black woman.
Kevin Samuels is saying that in the context of our open enemies, he brought on a Colombian, a Hispanic, even though Colombians can be considered Hispanic, but I know some of them call themselves Latinx and other terms. We're respectful of those terms, but specifically, the first lady said she was Colombian. She's a white Colombian, Hispanic woman that talks about her experience with black women now that she's in our country. And then he brings on Becky to evaluate. He brings in the enemy in black business. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, family. Share, 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 share. Thumbs up. There's too many infractions, but just one more. There's so many infractions, but just one more. Just one more. Here he is doing an interview, Kevin Samuels, on a platform with other black men, and he says this.
That's why we have the golden ratio, the Fibonacci equation. That's right. You can look at facial symmetry and see that. That's right. Beautiful people, you can map their facial structure, and it goes to a mathematical calculation. Oh yeah. Beauty is universal. And the thing is, we're talking about black women, they are on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks.
Kevin Samuels just told black women we're universally ugly. He says that we're on the opposite end on all spectrums because beauty is universal. That's why we have the golden ratio, the Fibonacci equation. Right. You can look at facial symmetry and see that. That's right. Beautiful people, you can map their facial structure, and it goes to a mathematical calculation. Oh yeah. Beauty is universal. And the thing is, we're talking about black women, they are on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks. For those of you that say black women don't like the truth, black women don't like Kevin Samuels, no, you want to mix in his toxicity. You want us to accept his poison when he laces it in by calling us dogs and telling us to come like puppies and dogs. You want to lace it in while he disrespects us and calls us out of our names and plays memes that I've showed you before where he said, BITCH, don't mess with my vibe.
The ratio, the Fibonacci equation.
That's right.
You can look at
That's
facial
right.
symmetry and see that
That's right.
beautiful people, you can map their facial structure, and it goes to a mathematical calculation.
Oh yeah.
Beauty is universal. And the
Yep.
thing is, we're talking about Black women, they are on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks.
He specifically said, we're talking about Black women. We're on the opposite side, opposite end of the spectrum in all areas. Family, everything I just showed you, from him bringing on Becky, a Colombian, another Hispanic immigrant, to disrespect and to dog the Black woman, there is no way in the world you're going to tell me, bruh, that the Black woman is supposed to accept that. He said and done so much more, but I just wanted to give you a few. I'm not even worried about the man he has not been able to explain that he had in his bed, that picture he put up live. He hasn't given a proper explanation for that. I'm not even going there with that. I'm not even tripping on the clip where Kevin Samuels asked a Black man, how big is his eggplant? How big is his cucumber? I'm leaving all of that. The cucumber, the eggplant. I'm not even going there on the other back-to-back. I've come out initially when I first heard of Kevin Samuels and I was first listening to some of his stuff. I was saying that I agreed with some of the stuff that he said. But then he started to lace it in with this other stuff. That's not how we treat the woman. And no, for those of you that said, listen to the message and not the messenger, you don't get to do that. Because if the vessel by which the vessel is coming through is tainted, if there are corrosive pipes that the water is flowing through, you don't get to tell me, forget about the pipes, fool. When the pipe, who's supposed to be a clear channel, is toxic, and the toxicity that's in the pipes is contaminating the water, no, baby, you don't get to tell me to forget about it. I get to call you out on that. You do not get to bring in the enemy and to get their evaluation of the Black woman. That's off code. That's treason. That is blasphemy. It's disagreeable what you say at all. Most of the stuff he's saying and the way he's saying it is disagreeable. That's one thing for you to say it and to keep it like quote unquote family business. It's another thing when you go out of your way to bring in the enemy to get in our business. That is a no-no. This is not an indictment on one man, his large following and his cult of worshipers. It's because you all are toxic. In the same way you scratch your heads and say, how is it that Donald Trump became the president? Because Donald Trump's racism wasn't secretive or misunderstood or nebulous or gray. It wasn't ambiguous or confusing or mixed up to where you had to say, well, the Democrats talk nice, but their actions, no, you didn't have to go figure that out. We didn't have to break down to you what Joe Biden did in 1994 crime bill. We didn't have to break down all of his racist ties and pull out. No, Donald Trump was clear up front. And then the very ones that were publicly denouncing him, white women, we found out that both times when they voted for him, they increased their numbers by large margins. The majority white women voted for him, 50 some odd percent, 50 some percent, I think for 50 or 51% at first. And then the second election, 53, it rose to like 53% or so. And his numbers shot up also amongst white Cubans and certain white Hispanics. Family, I don't agree with a woman doing this, and I don't agree with the man doing this. Some of you all are absolutely correct when you say that Kevin Samuels, there are other folks that did this before Kevin Samuels, you're right. But see, Kevin Samuels has a very large audience. He was able to parlay this. He was able to leverage this in a way that none of the others were. So he must be dealt with, because to whom much is given, because to whom much is given, because to whom much is given. Somebody finish the spiritual axiom. To whom much is given, what? To whom much is given, what? To whom much is given, what? To whom much is given. Somebody finish it. I'm not seeing y'all finish it. Somebody finish what I just said. To whom much is given, what? Much is required. Someone tweeted, thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. I'm almost finished. Don't go nowhere yet. Give me a couple more minutes, okay? By the way, don't forget to sign up for my amazing weekly mastermind at clubvicky.com for only $1. I see y'all putting it in there, much is required. For only $1, join clubvicky.com. It's life-changing. You'll have access to all kinds of spiritual, metaphysical lectures. You'll never be the same. Again, I'm not here to beat up on Kevin Samuels. Y'all love me because you brothers know I rock with y'all for years. I'm a real one.